Hey guys, how's it going? CoderMan here. In today's video, I want to do an overview on my audio setup that I use for my talking headpieces like this, and then also for my voiceovers behind me. So I'm getting a couple questions and figured I would show the hardware that I'm using and how I have my stuff set up. Alright, so here's my desk setup. I have two computers. I have the Mac Pro and then I have the MacBook Pro. For this, I'm using the MacBook Pro just because I have the most software on it and it's what I use for my audio. So for my talking headpieces, I have obviously the onboard microphone. It's a Rode VideoMic Pro. But for this portion, I have the Blue Yeti mic here, and it's basically just going through a USB cable, through the back here, and then I'm just using one of those, 100 different dongles for a Mac, putting it into my laptop. So let me go ahead and grab a seat here and I'll show you. I'm also going to do an on-screen portion, but essentially I'm using Adobe Audition. I have it set up to record my voice. And then what I do is I also record off of the onboard microphone in the camera. And basically inside of Premiere, I sync that audio. So inside of Adobe Audition, I basically just have an audio track set up. And what I do is I'll just record a segment like this, which, what I'm doing. You're hearing my audio, my voice coming directly from the Blue Yeti that's on my desk. And I'll just basically do my whole video segment, whatever it is, or whatever that portion of the video is. And then what I'll do is I'm going to stop this. Actually, I really can't stop it because then you won't be able to hear me anymore. But essentially what I do is once it's completed, I go to File, Export, either File, or I'll go to File, Save As, and it'll give me the option when you're of course not recording to save it as a WAV file. And what I do as just a quick aside, some little extra content if you will, is I actually have a CoderMan directory, I have an in progress directory, and I have basically a directory for every video that I'm working on. And for instance, with the Cannonball video, which was the last one, I'll throw a card if you haven't seen that yet. In here, I'll actually have the audio file. So I'll have my videos broken down into the directories, and this is also synced with my other computer as well as Dropbox. So I always have backups of everything. So just a quick audio test. Here's the audio from the Blue Yeti, and then I'm going to record the exact same thing. And this audio is coming from the Rode mic on the Canon R. So you'll hear the difference. There's the difference in the depth. I haven't done any post-processing on either of these audio clips. This is straight from the camera and the Blue Yeti respectively. You can definitely hear the difference between the two, and you'd have to decide what works best for you. In my case, I find sitting down at the desk, it's easier with the Blue Yeti. I just have it right here. It's easy to work with, and I can slide it behind my computer when I'm done. Whereas with the camera, if I'm actually talking to it, then I'll go with that as a choice. But it's just, the audio is just not quite as good when you're sitting in a controlled environment. It's ironic for me to say that because my kids are banging in their room right now. But normally my office isn't all that loud. Just so happens when you're trying to record a video, that's what happens. So for the GoPros, anytime I use a GoPro in a video, I usually use another microphone simply because the GoPro microphone just sucks. I have an external microphone for it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. It's possibly in the Porsche from when I went and did the track days. But basically it just plugs into the side there in the USB-C. Another thing that I use is the Zoom H4n. And what this is a handheld recorder. And what's great about this is I can go on the road and I can actually take audio. So I can plug in the XLR, or I can use the onboard microphone, right there. Or I also can use, there's actually a 1/8 inch jack on this side. But for the XLR, I actually use a Rode Entergy, I think 4, not positive, boom mic. And I usually have this set up, and usually it's over in the corner there. And it's basically, if pretend that my hand is the microphone, if this is the camera, it will be probably right there, just out of the frame, but as close to your mic, or as close to your mouth as possible. So there you have it, my different audio setups for my videos depending on what I'm working on. So for CoderMan videos, the majority of the time I'm using the Rode mic on the EOS R. For the Foster channel, I use the Blue Yeti, but I've started to use the Blue Yeti more because, believe it or not, I actually had COVID and I couldn't leave the house. So I've basically just been making videos at my desk and cutting content across it as I'm able to. So one final thing before I wrap up this video, there will be some more GT4 content. I'm in the process of possibly getting snow tires, so I'll be making a video on that, deciding if I'm gonna go that route. And then of course we're gonna do snow donuts because, well, it's YouTube and it's snowing and I have a rear wheel drive car. So why wouldn't I? The car looks awesome out in the snow and I'm sure it's gonna handle well, just not when it's on summer tires. So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out this content. Hopefully this was helpful, and I put links in the description to all the stuff that I'm using for my audio setups. And if you have any specific questions, of course, leave a comment. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. My next video will actually be fixing my fridge, which I'm sure you remember from my previous video. It's broken again. We actually ended up purchasing another one, but I'm gonna fix this one and hopefully show you guys, some issues that you can kind of get past and hopefully get that to run longer. We'll probably end up just throwing it in the garage or the basement and using it as a second fridge.